JYP hates leeknow and stays refused to advocate for him. One label, previously known as Division 1, the division of JYP that Stray Kids is under, has been mistreating and targeting leeknow for years. It's being noticed again after he, as well as Changbin, got almost no solo or focused screen time in the Run It music video. This on its own isn't that bad, but the problem is that this has been happening to him for a long time. The only time one label lets leeknow have screen time is in SKZ code or his own vlogs. In music videos, he barely gets shown during his parts. Some examples of this are God's Menu, Scars, and Run It. In SKZ Talkers, he has much less screen time than the other members and doesn't get interviewed despite saying he would like to talk more, and in performances, the camera pans away during his parts. Go to any Stray Kids concert and you will barely see leeknow on the big screen. During his parts, you will either see another member, a crowd shot, or a drone shot. It gets to a point where it's so ridiculous, but most days still ignore what's happening. Not to mention he is the main dancer. Why isn't the main dancer shown when he's dancing? Why do they never highlight his dance despite him being the most impressive dancer in the group? At the governor's ball, they didn't even show him on the screen during his Kick It part in S-Class. And don't get me started on the Dominate tour. Unless you were standing close enough to see him on the stage, you would forget he was there because he was never on the screen. But it's not only screen time. Another recent topic is the Run It concept photos that came out yesterday. The concept seems to be traditional Korean culture, based on the props used and of course what we've already seen in the Run It music video. And yes, one label's creative team is not good in general, but for leeknow, it's as if they're actively trying to do badly. Once again, leeknow, along with Changbin, has a boring photo shoot with no props, boring clothes, and ugly background, no effort on the hair, and boring makeup. From their photos alone, you would have no idea what the concept is. What even is this background? Aluminum foil? It has nothing to do with the concept. They hate giving effort to anything related to leeknow. They probably just chose the ugliest thing they could find on the floor of the basement. If you compare his and Changbin's photos with the other members, it's painfully obvious how much one label dislikes him. This isn't anything new either. They're constantly giving leeknow the most boring outfit, reusing outfits on him, giving him minimal makeup, and leaving his hair a mess that would look better if he styled it himself. Their lack of care doesn't even make sense from a company standpoint because he's popular too. And if you had a dancer and face card like that, why would you be actively trying to hide him? I've followed this for a while and can confidently say it's not just that they don't care about him, it's a dislike for him and intentional sabotage. They cut off the end of the youth music video because the video was gaining popularity and praise. Not only did they cut off the part he was being praised for, editing a video freezes the views so the video abruptly stopped growing. When they send him on trips like Fashion Week, for example, they send him with a manager that doesn't let him sign autographs, interact with fans, or take photos with other celebrities. All the other members are allowed to do this. He is the only member whose brand interviews and videos are never added to their promotional playlist on YouTube or reposted on their Twitter account. Staff working on a variety show have admitted that one label emailed them and told them to remove leeknow from the thumbnail. In recent years, one label has been bullying leeknow about his body, even referring to him as chubby in scripts on stage, subtitles in videos, and encouraging it as a nickname for fans to call him. This is all despite the fact that leeknow has expressed discomfort with the joke and clearly stated that he doesn't like it. leeknow has been left without bodyguards at the airport multiple times, which is very dangerous. When he went on a trip with Felix, one label approved articles calling him Felix's sidekick and casting him to the side. When leeknow's phone number and family address were leaked, the company did nothing to protect him at all. They didn't move a muscle. One label's behavior toward leeknow is mistreatment and severe workplace bullying. They want to hurt him and they haven't ever stopped. They're extremely petty, unprofessional, and honestly just cruel. And we can assume this does hurt his feelings because first of all, who wouldn't be upset by this? But we've also seen his sad reaction when he watched the God's Menu music video and realized all his scenes were cut. We've seen his unhappy bubble messages after he realized one label staff are body shaming him again, and he's the only member who didn't post about Run It when the music video came out. It's high time this fandom started speaking up for leeknow. The Twitter account leeknow global @LKglobal has made an email form that you can copy and send to